What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me on this episode. Today, I'm going to show you how we process our smelt. In the last video, we showed you that we went smelt dipping. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically fillet it open, okay? We're going to leave the fish whole. We're going to take the bones out of it all. We're going to basically add some lemongrass, garlic, and some chili powder, and a little bit of salt. And we're going to basically dry it out, and that's it. So join me. Let's have some fun, and let's get started. Now that we have our fish filleted, that's what they typically call spatchcock right here. Okay, so if you notice that the belly is intact, we're gonna want to basically clean the inner wall so there's no guts. Make sure there's no blood trails, and remove the inside of the gill. The eggs I've basically taken out and put them aside. So you want to basically let them soak in about a good 30 minutes of water to get any additional blood out. And for the ingredients that I use, basically I have chopped lemongrass, dry garlic powder, about a quarter teaspoon of MSG. Now that's optional, but in most Asian families, they will put that in there. I will only use about a quarter teaspoon. This is 3/4 teaspoon of salt and Thai chili pepper. So what we're gonna do is basically add all these ingredients in here. All right, and we're gonna do next, we're gonna basically mix it up. Once we mix it up, we're gonna put this in our dehydrator. Now I want the fish to be about semi-dry. So I'm gonna probably dry this out for about a good 6 hours, and I'm gonna check up on it later on today. If I want it more crispier, more drier, I'll probably go for at least a full 24 hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix these up, and then we'll get them onto the drying rack. Now that we have the fish seasoned and on the drying racks, if you notice that I don't bunch them up together on all the racks, I basically am putting 3 per rack, and also I put the skin side down. So that way, as it's drying, it doesn't stick to the actual rack, which will allow me to basically turn it out later about 3 hours from now. So we're gonna go for about a good 6 full hours of drying time. And like I said, I don't want mine too dry. I want it to, when I fry it, I'll still have that texture of that meat, the fish meat. So that way it'll be nice and moist at the same time. So we're gonna put the lid on, and we're gonna get started. And we'll check back in 6 hours. All right, so we are at our 3-hour mark. We're gonna check on that. I'm gonna turn off the dehydrator. All right, it's looking pretty good. So I'd say about another maybe hour and a half, 2 hours, we should be at that right consistency. If you kind of notice it's slightly dry, we want just a little bit more. So we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna turn it around, and we'll work on the rest, and we'll check on it in about another hour and a half, because that way when we do a test fry, this should be really crispy on the outside. All right, let's flip them and cover it, and then we'll go for another hour and a half. All right, so I let it basically dehydrate for another hour, and this is what we're looking for. It has a slight leathery texture, and if you look inside, it's still moist, but not to the point to where it has a little bit more oil or so. It's still semi-dry, so that's what we want. So I already have some frying right now in the deep fryer. It won't take very long, probably about maybe a good minute or two at the most. Once that's done, I'm gonna show you guys exactly the final product. All right, here we go. All right, so like I said, we did a total almost a good 4 hours or so, 4 1/4. This is what it looks like so far. After it's fried, that's how it's gonna be. So I'm gonna give you guys a little taste test. So these are really good by themselves, or with some beer or sticky rice. How most Lao people eat it. So I'm gonna show you guys me eating it, and yeah, let's take a look. Right, here's the fish chips. So like I said, it's about 4 1/4 hours total. I only fried it for like maybe a good 3-4 minutes. So we're gonna take a taste test. Oh man, that's good. So you guys should probably try to make this yourself. Let me know. Other than that, thanks for watching. And make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.